All right, so Q&A video time. I wanted to pull together some questions from my Instagram and see what I could answer in one fell swoop. Julio Frelly on Instagram asks, which was the most difficult decision you had to make in your life? Also, did it pay off? The hardest decision I had to make was leaving IGN. I'm just gonna open with that. So I really was hesitant to leave. It took a lot of convincing myself that I wanted to do it and that it was the right thing. IGN had been such a part of my life in such a big way that I really couldn't figure out how I would even start the process of leaving, and even considering that was the scariest thing. It took me about a month to decide. I weighed the pros and cons. I finally pulled the plug on it. It was very hard for me and very emotional for me, but in the end, it did pay off. You know, I moved to Los Angeles, I started my own business, and I've been thriving ever since. I bought a house, I have a cute puppy Odin, I have a car, I'm doing all sorts of cool things that I never thought I would have the courage to do, and I feel like if I had stayed at IGN, I would have never felt, I wouldn't have taken that next step, and it required a lot of just me getting out of my comfort zone. Manny Motto 09 asks, would you ever travel into space? Yes. It's important to me that if I do get to experience space for the first time, that I don't die. I think that's the same for a lot of people. So as long as, you know, it's been proven that it's extremely safe and the odds of anything catastrophic happening are very slim, then 100% I would go. Just to be able to say in my lifetime, my very short lifetime in time and space, I experienced what space was like. I would even like to maybe go outside in an astronaut suit, just to feel what it's like to be in space. I got a mini version of that when I did 0G, but I'm sure it's nothing like actually going out into space and seeing the beauty of this entire round sphere that we live on. Leon the Sleepy asks, any gaming content soon? Wish you would do consistent game walkthroughs or something like that. Yeah, I mean, I play a lot of video games on my off time, but I don't stream them or record them a lot, and I've been trying to do that a little bit here and there when I do stream to, you know, create a piece of content that can then live on my YouTube channel of just like funny moments and highlights. But that's definitely something I'm looking to do more of, Leon. I just want to make sure if I'm doing it that I'm playing games that I actually enjoy and that I'm not just playing the, you know, most happening game that's out there. So I do eventually want to finish Immortals, but I just haven't gotten around to it, so that's something that I might record a video for. I actually have been wanting to play It Takes Two, and I haven't done that yet, so hopefully I can get to some gameplay walkthroughs. But you know, I'm trying to do some videos that are more just vlog style, some that are gaming, just a mix of stuff so that I can get into the habit of posting on a regular basis, i.e. like this Q&A video. RFAT3010 asks, what's the next big thing, if any, coming up in your personal and professional life? What can I even say? I don't know if I can even say anything. Can I say anything? The projects that I'm working on right now, they're not happening until they're happening. It's just one of those things that, unfortunately, in this industry, you always have to have different projects going at once in case, because the chances are a lot of them will fall through. Some of them are looking to, I'm spearheading and are looking to be a pretty sure thing. I just really can't talk about them because they're not a thing until they're a thing. Unfortunately, one of those things where I just have to tell you wait and see. But I guess additional to that, people have heard about this, especially my patrons. I have been working on some music and I'm planning to release the music in August as an EP. I have 5 songs, might be more depending, that I want to put out there because I love making music, and it's been something that I've been working on privately for a very long time and I've never actually put out there into the world, so I'm planning to finally do that. Yeah, so look forward to that. You can look forward to some music. I'm bringing back Last Week in Gaming and Everybody Games in August as well, and that's pretty much it. As for personal, you know, I'm taking care of Odin, I'm working on my house. I have a huge landscaping project that's going to be happening over the next 6 months, so that's been preoccupying my personal life a lot, and I do plan to visit Canada also in the month of August if I can swing it, to see my family for the first time since 2019. What was my favorite part about today? What was my favorite part about today? I guess hanging out with Odin. We ended up giving him a bath today because he puked up something yesterday and has been smelling like puke pretty much the whole time. So we finally gave him a bath, and he actually was really into being in the water. I've never had a dog that's so curious and interested in water like him. So that was really, really pleasant and fun. Most of my days are made better because of Odin, to be real. Which video game world would you live in? Ooh, that's a tough one. I'd love to live not in a post-apocalyptic world. A world I would actually like to live in is Animal Crossing, which is kind of a cop-out, but you know, you get your little friends, you live on a cool island, and your life is pretty simple and really pleasant, and I get my little house that I can decorate how I want, and things are still pretty magical and great in a world like Animal Crossing. You can go back in time, you can go through different seasons. I don't know, it just sounds like a very fun, relaxing world. I don't think I would want to be in any other video game world, just because a lot of video games, the premise is usually something catastrophic has happened or is about to happen, and you're living in the consequences of that. So yeah, I think that Animal Crossing would be the safest bet when it comes to living in a video game world that's safe and free from chaos. Best thing about the past year, VJ Bisunki? Something good that came out of 2020. I guess the best thing that came out of 2020 was that I was able to continue working and making a living, doing what I love, hosting video games. And the two best things that happened aside from that were that I got Odin, who is my little baby. I'm now a proud puppy mama, and the fact that I was able to buy a house. Those are my two most cool things, best things that happened to me after the horrible year that we all suffered. Chris Gregory 89 asks, on a scale of simp to respectful, how simpy do these questions get? So far, most of the questions you guys submitted on Instagram have been really respectful. There's some minor simpiness going on in your questions, but mostly you guys have all been really respectful and happy and excited for me. And had some really good questions, actually. How goes the Church of Buddhism? That's from Z Swanson. You know, the Church of Buddhism just came out about as a sort of Twitter joke, inside joke, or whatever you want to call it. But it was really, I wanted to evolve into like me becoming DJ Buddhism or something along those lines, where I can shoot a live stream of me DJing, you know, playing some cool tracks and doing a live stream. But ever since the DMCA stuff started happening, I pretty much put a hold on that idea because I can't use unlicensed music, so I really need to figure out how I'm gonna pull this off in a way that is legal and doesn't get me taken down from Twitch. So that's pretty much where I'm at with that, but the Church of Buddhism still lives on in all of our hearts. It's still a very, again, if you're watching this video and you're like, what the fuck is she talking about? It's very niche, like a lot of just, my closest fans will probably know what it is, but if you're new to this channel and you have no idea what I'm talking about, totally get it. Oh, Garrett Trank asks, what is your favorite TV show this year? Honestly, Loki. Loki really, really just has been awesome to watch, and I've really enjoyed the heck out of it. Aside from that, my usual Family Guy. Shout out to Family Guy. Love that show. Oh, and Succession is out very soon too. Love that one. LG16 Spears 42 asks, would you do a Black Widow cosplay with all of her costumes from the MCU? I don't think I would do one with all the costumes. I've definitely explored doing an MCU cosplay, but not of Black Widow. I would actually prefer to do Scarlet Witch. What's your favorite thing you own and why? Okay, so my favorite thing I own and why is my Zelda 3DS. It's one of the first things I was able to get when I moved to San Francisco, when I started working at IGN. It still works, and I have the Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D. Dun-dun-dun. And why is it my favorite thing? You know, you'd think it would be like my Harley Quinn statue, my Bombshell Harley Quinn statue or something, but it's actually this, because it was the thing that really kept me going and got me through a lot of difficult times. So I just love this 3DS. And, you know, when I first moved to San Francisco, I was living in an apartment, studio apartment in this really old building downtown San Francisco. And when I first moved, I had a lot of my stuff shipped. Like, I actually sold a lot of the things I had, and I had this box shipped with things that I just couldn't bring with me on the plane, like my Xbox console and all my video games. And when it arrived, I was at work. By the time I got home, the box had been stolen from where it was left. So yeah, I sadly had nothing left that I could game with, and so I bought this 3DS. It's actually it's one of my first Nintendo consoles that I owned. So it was very meaningful, and it really had an impact on those first few months, on my life, those first few months when I moved to San Francisco all alone with no friends or family. Well, my IGN friends, of course. It's funny, my sister wrote, why are you stinky pants? Crazy Peanut asks, what's an opportunity you really wanted but didn't get, and now you feel relieved for it? That's a really good question. I auditioned one time for a Rotten Tomatoes show for the very famously unsuccessful Quibi app. It was a new show they were developing, and I went in to audition and I completely bombed. And I was kind of really sad. It was my first really superiorly bombed audition. In my mind, I did terrible. Other people would say otherwise, but I think I could have done so much better, and I was hoping to get it, but I didn't get it, and now I'm happy I didn't get it because Quibi is no more. And there's one more thing too that I'm actually relieved I didn't get. I did audition for Black Canary in the CW universe. I made it to producers, which is the second step in an audition process, and I didn't get it. But I'm actually relieved I didn't get it because Katie Lotz got it, and she is legit a badass, and she's way more talented and physically skilled in a way that I just am not, and I love her as a character. Well, of course, she went on to do just Sarah Lance stuff in Legends of Tomorrow and wasn't Black Canary for that long, but at the time that was the role I was auditioning for, and she got it, and kudos to her because she actually was the right choice. And I'm relieved it wasn't me. Rob K3 asks a really good question. Which upcoming release are you more excited for, Deathloop or Far Cry 6? That's an almost impossible question because I'm probably going to play both, but I'm going to say Deathloop. Far Cry, I've played a lot of Far Cry, and I love all their games, but Deathloop is like this new and fresh, exciting thing, so I'm actually more excited for that one, but I'm still gonna play both, and I'm almost just as equally excited for Far Cry 6. I know it's kind of a cop-out, but what do you want me to do? Does pineapple go on pizza? Ryan asks, yes. Joshua Aaron asks, where do you see yourself 5 years from now, career-wise? Question. I see myself producing for the television in the entertainment side, and I'm also working on some video game show ideas that hopefully will come to fruition, assuming all goes well. So still in the gaming space, but maybe a little bit more extended into the more traditional entertainment side of things. So working on that every day. 5 years from now, you never know what might happen. Maybe I'll become a day trader or a zoologist. You never know. From Kriska Paisan, do you miss Canada? I do miss Canada a lot, and I'm looking to buy some property there very soon with myself and my sister are looking to go in on a property there in Quebec, of course. But I do love Canada, and I would move back there for a job in a heartbeat if it was the right job opportunity and if I really thought it would be a career advancement. Ever thought of doing more voice acting? From Adspears. I did voice a character back in 2016 in I Expect You to Die. Really awesome VR game if you haven't checked it out yet. I have not gotten any other voice acting jobs since then, so something that I've been doing this past year and during 2020, I created a voiceover reel. I've been hitting up all my contacts who I know might be able to give me an opportunity to voice a character in a game or in a TV show, and I have my VO booth that I set up at home, which I use for music, but is also capable of doing all that other good stuff. Yes, I've definitely put it out there that I do want to do more voice acting, but unfortunately it's one of those things in the industry where you kind of have to hope that someone gives you a chance or some sort of foot in the door to really make it a thing that continues to happen and for people to really start working with you on a more regular basis. I've spoken to my agent and the people that I do work with, and just waiting to see if any opportunities come my way. It doesn't always work out where there's a role that is out there that is a perfect fit for your voice and for what they're looking for. So I just kind of have to wait and hope that those opportunities pop up. But yeah, definitely something I'm taking seriously and hoping to do more of. Whew, okay, that was a lot of questions, and I am happy I'm back to doing Q&As. It's something I haven't done in a long time, and I know a lot of you guys, back in the day used to watch Ask Naomi, which was a Q&A video I used to do on a regular basis. But yeah, maybe I'll just do a Q&A every now and then when I don't really have any other kind of content that I'm working on. Aside from that, this week was just like kind of flew by actually, and I was like, oh, I haven't put a video up on YouTube, so figured a Q&A would be a good way to hash out some stuff for you guys. Okay. I'll leave it at that. I will answer more questions if you have them in the comments. Try to answer them in the best way I can. But looking forward to more content coming your way very soon. And I hope you have a good rest of your weekend. Okay, bye. Without further ado, let's get started on a Q&A video. Is that good? Good positioning right there? Ah! Shit, okay. I'm not streaming, am I?